Actually, oh, so I forgot to put on a light. Still, I don't want to be distracting, so I'm going to do it here. Okay. Um, Let me just make sure. Well, this one. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for viewers to get here. Alrighty. And we'll go from there. Yeah, it's like every couple days. That's interesting. Second time I've seen the name Karina, and I got somebody else with a very similar name earlier today. So all of them have been today. Actually, this one, I'm what is the world trying to tell us? Is the question that we ask ourselves sometimes, right? I'm deep in thought, but I'm also just trying to do a setup thing and wanting to remember I want to get my coffee. And yeah. So, welcome everybody. Just getting started on this one. And I wanted to share some kind of personal stories. I also want to so one of the realizations that I had today that I don't know why it occurred to me today because it's just a deep kind of day, especially this latter half. So I'm just gonna things went a little bit foggy there. That's a bit better, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna wait though because the two people that would one person's here. So one realization that I had today is that sorry, I just noticed a bit of dark hair on the floor, ironically. Is that our dog is about halfway through his life already if he lives a standard life for a dog his size. Um, I have thought occasionally that the first half has went really quickly, but yeah, it's interesting to kind of think about that and like if the second half goes as quickly, like, well, I'd be cherishing it anyway, but I hope it doesn't because you know um, I would still not be all that old, um, and then to have to go through life without him, as distracting as he sometimes is when in the podcast. He's upstairs right now, but and then I bet we'll be picking up dog hair. For the first while he wasn't, but picking up dog hair long after he passes. But for life, just making sure that you're still here. It indicates there's one here now, but for a little bit there wasn't any. But yeah, basically it wasn't displaying on either device. Well, that's a bit bigger than usual. And ironically, there's a cat in that picture. I think I clicked the wrong one. I clicked the earlier one, which I thought was in the section. Okay, I see. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. I've got G, a small number of others. And then the YouTube community that's always growing. have a different type of bond with a dog than you do with a person. And then he's not. There's nothing that makes me think, I mean, life is very unpredictable, and I sort of want to talk a little bit about that and fragile. Um, but the thing of the matter is that, and I thought it, process this and think about it later, but I really didn't get much of a nap. But that's the thing, is that, like, what if something happened? And he just doesn't live very long. I know that he was born with a bit of a dental thing, and I keep meaning to book an appointment myself. But it's not exactly the most enjoyable thing, even with a good and gentle dentist. So I don't really know if I want to do that. But also because of also because um, well, I mean, you just never know. I know that he actually there was two things that happened. I mean, there's nobody here, but there was a couple things that happened not long after we got our dog. I'm being distracted by things I shouldn't be getting distracted by. But anyway, yeah, and I bet those ones have other things on them that I want to look at later. So, although that one, where is it? Yeah, right. So anyway, because when we first got him, he was given to us with a collar that didn't quite fit him, and he slipped out of it and ran out onto the road. Luckily, I mean, I've been through my share of pet losses and other those, but more than plenty. But luckily, sorry, I'm getting distracted, and there's nobody here specifically listening, so it's okay if I'm distracted. I mean, they might be afterwards, and so I apologize. You can always skip ahead, but until then. And actually, I recently found out about. I think it's Yuki that he likes playing with muscles, and he's very vague when he's confused. But and he knows that I struggle clarifying, and most people would in that case. But I don't know if the person that wants to come and buy an item has completely canceled or is just thinking about it with what she said. But but yeah, so luckily the car that was coming up the street was coming fairly slow. Well, yes, I must watch for Potato in a moment, one of our viewers, because it only shows on this device. So I'm not going to say much to this friend. He's got 3 people there right now. He's pulling the cell phone a little bit closer to him because he was doing something on his computer. But yeah, so basically, we've got one person here. I do feel like you're meant to be here. Something that I'm going to express is something that you might be meant to hear, even if it's potentially deep. Try not to judge too soon, and I'm glad to have you here. So I was just talking about when we first got our dog, something that had transpired. And this was a few years ago. Um, but I'd rather wait till always necessarily talked on hugely afterwards. But I appreciate being able to watch them back with G if he's not around when I do them, and just the potential that maybe there will be some, and hopefully I notice them timely. Um, right, that's what I was doing. I almost forgot. But so slowly but surely, I tell this story. I'm just navigating around on two. So, yeah, the car. Again, I feel like whoever sees this is meant to, and even if it's deep, try not to judge things too quickly, and let's have a conversation if you'd like, or at least be here listening. And I appreciate that. I've been rolling for only about 12 minutes. But yeah, basically, the car was coming up the street pretty slowly, and he was smaller than our dog, so he wasn't necessarily as fast moving, and G was, and I kind of was too, but and he's been lovely to have, and I hope that we do get a long lifespan with him. But sometimes, unfortunately, and I even hate to think it, I do, but here I am thinking it. Sometimes, unfortunately, often actually. Do I only have one though? Which doesn't make a ton. I'm curious who you've interviewed recently, and hope you're doing well. Well, even. I didn't have it open on my, or I wasn't showing the chat afterwards, and I can't go to it during. And if you subscribed, it must have been privately subscribed. Some people do that intentionally or not, I don't know. But, or I didn't notice shortly. I'm just wanting to get some coffee heated for myself. And you did. Okay. Yeah, how come you did do that privately? Then it's hard to, like I say, navigate to your channel. And if I'm not well, no, it maybe doesn't just show to just me. It's true. But anyway, so yeah, I was talking about our dog and realizing that he's not that old, but he's halfway through his life pretty much. Unless he's one of those stories like my mother. We know eventually he's gonna pass away. Who is like 20 years old. But and it's so wild because speaking to me, my one friend, I think she said it was her dog or someone in her family. She had a dog that lived to 25, fairly healthy. The oldest one I'd heard about before them was 22. I almost thought about rolling tomorrow and talking about some of this stuff, but I'm not. It's like a few hours before bedtime. I don't exactly have that much other distractions right now, so I figured might as well roll. I have these things on my mind, I'll be right back. And I'll still watch videos later, I'm sure, so. So that's fine. But anyway, so, are you still there, best day ever? Has your phone died or something, or what? Because that's indicating nobody is, but no, and I mean, I'm 16 minutes in, but maybe. So yeah, that's a hard thought to have, and I hope to not have it on my mind too much, because I just want to enjoy, and I do already. Should I amp it up or not? I don't know, but I also wanted to talk about a couple of. Okay, I'm going to wait till it stops flickering until I confirm who is currently still watching. I don't think that person, they really enjoyed themselves here on the stream the other day. First time, I think, but still. And I really don't think that he's. Yeah. Something may be coming. Heat it up just a smidgen more. Not strong, but. And it is 7:21. I made that stuff now, which I don't hugely have the energy for. It would be ready by 8. Oh, and I also would have to wash the pot, so that's fun. Nobody's here right now. So I guess I could. We're only 18 minutes in, but because although it might be motivating, I understand. Me actually, I understand that some people might not want to, or might not. And I'm glad I thought of this because kind of minimal and low on the options right now, but I am glad that we have some. And then I think there's more of a gap. Like if I've just finished, I don't exactly want to watch. But if I've done other things in between, if it's no, I don't So I'm just gonna wait till there's somebody for sure here. I mean, if either of the people that have become regulars the past few are here and they're saying something more than what I've addressed, I'm not seeing it, but I'll be back on my computer in a moment and hopefully see it then. I don't know if that's something I've noticed. If it shows a particular person's comments, if it only shows some. I mean, I suppose at times I wouldn't necessarily know otherwise. Okay, good enough. Okay, let's go to the living room with the beverages, continue the conversation. Yeah, I think we both want to do some errands tomorrow. Although I can't remember what the one was I was thinking. Oh, right, I want to buy herbs. Right. So next topic, I'm just going to try and figure out how I want to bring this into the topics. And I want to welcome the person that just tuned in. I'm about 21 minutes into this stream. That's the other thing I think Beth ever would have liked. But yeah, something must have came out. Thank you for the like, though. I appreciate it. I don't want to be too specific, but I could just say that there's stories I happen to hear about, and whether I live in the places that they occurred or not. And that's the case, pretty much. But I found out about a couple of things tonight, and it's really kind of been riveting, I guess would be the word. One of which was, but I used to live in the one place. One of which is, the one I think I heard about first was somebody drove into a business. They had some sort of health condition or whatever, I don't know what, and they lost control of their vehicle and they drove into a business. And it is an area that it was a store that I was in not super long ago when I was there. And then also, because I used to frequent often. But anyway, she apparently, update, has passed away. I don't know. It sounds like she did get to the hospital, but I guess in critical condition. I'm not too sure. She could have passed away from the health condition that she was driving with, which, in a way, she's lucky that, I don't think she went much into the place. The window broke. And there was posts or whatever kind of that may have slowed her down a little bit. And then she maybe just kind of rolled in. And whether there was people on the sidewalk, I don't know. It's a fairly busy plaza. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I have the time to do it tomorrow, but we'll also see if I'm in a headspace to do it. If I'm feeling like I'm getting ideas. I mean, Mark is pretty, and Kelly, but it's usually Mark typing, I think, my friend, and others as well, perhaps. They're pretty good at keeping the, when I'm not doing it, keeping the momentum going, in the conversation. But I am definitely a part of that. And if I'm not feeling it, it might be a kind of watch the other recent videos because, I thought I was going to try to because I normally would. Actually, tomorrow morning, I haven't for the past few weeks booked it off work. Anywho, we're not that far into this, so but anyway, basically, I was gonna say, so people that do see it afterwards, there's not been too many gaps, but I'm just gonna keep the momentum going, because so anyway, so I found out about that, but deeper than that, and the truth of the matter is I don't know who that person was, if that person's been named. In a group when I was in that area, and I follow a group being on here than on that site, although there has been an anonymous or nickname option there lately too. But I don't know if this was or it's just what they went by. And so, I mean, I prefer, kindness, of course, and love, but and respect, as we all deserve, all would want for ourselves, and like most of us deserve it. But I don't like fake either, or like Mark Kelly was talking about, people that are different in person than they are in videos. I mean, I'm mostly not, I mean, I just might be a little bit more distracted or stressed or in my head and maybe not as sociable. We got to wait till about 8:15, 8:20 years for sending updates. That's good. I could even go look to see if she's done so yet. I didn't see it come in here, but maybe it was when I was washing the pot. Just something that I need an update about about tonight, or potentially. I'm not too sure how to go about finding out if it's somebody I knew or not. And with the way sometimes go in my life, it could be. I don't know how quickly they release that information, but yeah. So I may or may not have known her, and she may or may not have lived in our area, and I didn't know that. But we got two people here. Welcome, welcome. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that a little after that, I think, not finding out about that thing, but not that the person had passed away. A little after that, in the same kind of a similar spot, I'm going to remember to go down now because I'm curious. And I'm not going to take it personally that he must have brought it off because he liked my energy the other day. He came back. At least I'm assuming that means that I mean, yeah, he didn't stay, but anyway, part of the matter being is that this particular individual and local had been willing to, as a woman, And I never knew because she had a wedding picture. Part of me is hesitant to talk about this, but I'm not doing so in a disrespectful way. So I feel like it's okay. And I'm also being pretty anonymous. We live in a huge world, so these kind of things are likely to happen in more than one place in the world. And in fact, it didn't even happen even where I live. Um, but when I was living there, this one particular person, because we don't drive, uh, she um, she so I'm just checking out one of our commenters. Uh, okay, cool. I'll check that out in a bit. I mean, and like I say, try. I'm curious, and there's not actually that many to see, so I'll read the titles, and see if there's anything I might want to watch. But um, looks like a newer channel, ish, kind of. And yeah, I'm gonna try and take it personally. I mean, maybe he had an emergency come up or his phone died, because these things happen. Because yeah, basically this person. Sorry, it's taking me a bit of time to get there, but maybe it'll resonate. Maybe it'll inspire, um, and something for conversation. So basically, me and the person I live with had inquired about rides. One of them was kind of near the holidays, like maybe a month before Christmas, and we got some bad weather, and the other one was medical related, and then the other one. But like this just happened, so that wasn't the reason then, and I'm trying to look past it. You know that maybe she was just too busy, you know, with the things that were going on in her life, and who knows how her health was too. That she had seen the most recent messages I sent, but hadn't said anything. Point of the matter being is that fast forward about a month later, um, she was traveling and on a bus that had an accident, and two, well, um, they said, I think there's been an update since actually that there may have been at least a couple more than two, and then some people that had been injured. She has passed away in her 50s within the past day or two. Um, and I had a little bit of interaction with her. So actually been kind of it's been kind of a hard one for me to to because I think one reason is that even though we never actually the favors that we'd asked never did transpire. I think that even the ones that were the last one that was ignored, she had never blocked us. Um, we were having a kind conversation with her, prior. Um, I think that, like I say, I think she just had other distractions, other things that she was dealing with in her life. And maybe just was in that moment that she saw my messages, and around that time, she just wasn't able to send a response. 'Cause sometimes it takes a bit of time to think of what we want to say, and or maybe she didn't want to say no. Maybe she also felt, I mean, it's the things that aren't communicated. It doesn't matter hugely, but maybe she also felt that she wasn't able to help me twice, but better than we thought it was. I remember we tried to contact her while we were out and we were at a clinic. Um, and I'm sure the other one was after that Christmas party because the cab didn't show up. Well, actually, it did, but we weren't quite standing in the right place, so they didn't know that it was us that called for it, and they sailed through the parking lot of the place I mentioned, actually. And then we got one who was going off shift because, yeah, it was snowing and blowing, and the transit system sucks. And I mean, I can't remember if a relative who is often available was available or not. She may have been at a Christmas party or something. Um, and but I do remember sending this person, and I think G must remember at least one of these occasions. Um, and um, I'm just going to pause for a moment because I don't think anybody's currently here. Take my time, indeed. And it was very recent, but it's interesting because this shows, and I feel like it is more than just that I'm thinking about it. This shows how the soul can journey into its final, what I believe to be the final resting place, and I want to believe that. One, because I've had some there for a long time, and I've sensed that their presence, their angelic presence, around me sometimes, and so I know that they are still there, and also I'd want them to be so that I could see that any of my loved ones, as most of us would, again when my time comes, whenever that may be. I've had the chest pain today. I mean, I people can believe what they want, but I struggle to understand why someone. I mean, it can be hard either way. If you think that life goes on, whether you feel like you have proof of it or not. If you feel like life goes on and you'll see them again, I can understand how you might want to rush that. But, and this keeps coming up, this deep topic, and I don't know. I'll quote one of my angels uh, that I felt once told me that we got to cherish life, make the most of it, and and um, and each other. Um, I feel like she's of a similar viewpoint where life's hard. It you know it may be the last thing that they want to do, but they just can't cope anymore. And so they're thinking of how they can relieve their own pain. And I mean, the truth is, come to think of it, I mean, I do know this, but I haven't really worded it this way. A lot of them leave very touching letters, very, you know, heartfelt letters behind before doing so. But I would like to encourage people, anybody who is thinking of that kind of thing, to ask for help. You know, unless you've been here while this is live, I would prefer that you don't comment on that topic in the comment section. And sometimes I feel like I need to specifically ask, but it's because this channel is used by two of us in the home, and if he happened to notice, I mean, he's pretty good about I mean, it's owned by both of us, and so I could talk about anything that I feel like I need to talk about. But it's a hard topic to look at, right? And it's not necessarily that we wouldn't necessarily have the power and ability to help somebody who's going through that, but and it's I feel like it's one thing if it's live and it's especially if it's me that's rolling and he's not in it, especially now if it's during well, I guess it may be during the day for me, but not for the other viewers. But because I have a bit more of a background in that. It's not that I'm not sensitive about it, but I have a bit more of a background in it. So I but anyway, the point of the matter is that, and I wish I was saying this while there was somebody watching, but at the moment there isn't. You know what? Maybe I can wait till 8. That stuff, I can wait till 8. But I think I will heat up my coffee. I don't want anyone to come while I'm briefly upstairs, so I won't go up there yet. But I'm thankful that I remembered. Ooh, all that sugar just sitting at the bottom of the cup. I'm thankful that I remember to, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. This is so powerful that I don't want to say it to nobody here. And it looks like nobody's here. So I'll wait. Thank you. That's it. There's somebody there tomorrow. You know what? I think I do have to run upstairs. But hopefully people will be patient enough. I feel it's distracted. Couldn't be on camera, and I don't know. No. There's a reason why. And I've got to ask, is that because of what you've been through and because of an uncertainty but a possibility, or like for real, for real? I just got down here. Sorry, I'm just processing some deep thoughts. Let's go have a sit. First of all, I'm going to drop you on the counter. Then I'm going to pick you up, put you back on the tripod, and let's go have a sit in the living room. Okay. Maybe like I don't want deep, I just want light and fluffy at this point in time. Life's, sometimes when life is hard, we might avoid the deep or the uncomfortable, whether we should or shouldn't. And other times, it's totally understandable how it might just not be what we're looking for at a particular time. But okay, so basically what's transpired is, and I'm going to do it in the sequence, in the order that it transpired, and you're very welcome to share your thoughts on it. So, and welcome here, by the way, as well. So I wanted to share that my friend who'd passed away spoke to my mind once, not that long ago, and I can't remember exact context at the time, but in the context of questioning existence at the moment, not necessarily me, but others that may see this, and pretty much you know what? I'm me and I'm authentic. And it's weird that it says there's still one person here. There must have been two, but I thought it only said one, and that was a troll. But anyway, Okay, I think it was just a bit of a delay there. But I thought I did this already. It'd be wild if it went 3-2. So she had said, yeah, basically cherishing life, cherishing those we have in it, because some don't get the opportunity, and not by their choosing, because they are involved in an accident, because they have a health condition that sometimes takes. I hear thumbs up there every now and then. And when I was very briefly upstairs, I heard playing from one of the rooms, the other person at home, a song about flowing with love, and something basically quite along those lines of, I knew that I was rolling, and I was already kind of mid thought with what I was doing in here. And I don't want to distract this person from a fitness session. I know you're like, how? Just music that's playing at the moment. And at this point, in about 10 minutes, this person could be downstairs. Someone's in the house too, but if hasn't gotten an update from someone who was going to drop by to buy something from us. I'm not going to get into details, don't need to, basically. And then I got to cook dinner. But yeah, it's I remember, it being quite an emotional, uh, emotional when that came up before. And I mean, this example exactly, or if the one who told me specified, but and one of them was on my post. But it's kind of like in tragic auto accidents, and it's wild, because I was thinking about my father's earlier today too, actually, and hearing these kind of things can certainly make you worry what could happen to each of our own loved ones, right? To be said on this topic, I might save the one mention for tomorrow's stream, because Mark knew that I was going to, and Kelly for that matter, that I was getting a new bike, and they might ask about that. And I feel like there's a connection there. I do, actually. Just the ironies of it, I feel like there must be. And so I'll save that detail. But that's the other thing we've done. And even though it's mostly on that side, there's one will be. I got to get cooking. Well, I was going to wait till about 5 after. What I want to make doesn't take that long. See if that person might show up. Or hopefully by then send us a confirmation if she's going to or not. Or at least try to, if life allows. Weekend doesn't mean for some people that it slows down and is more relaxing. It should, but you know what? Not going up there and spending a bit of time with that other person in the house, I wouldn't. If something happened, I mostly don't feel like I would do anything differently than what I'm doing right now. And I know that that might sound strange to some people, but the truth of the matter is that we have a very lovely connection. We know what's in our hearts, and how important we are to each other. And that's, the main thing. I don't think we necessarily have to say it out loud to any of us, to our loved ones. We can show it, and even to strangers. And that's the thing that I wanted to also mention, because this woman who died. And if the one person watching feels like they know this person, it's a story that I heard about. And I may not live in that place anymore, but I have had a connection to the person. Um, Not deeply, but I have had. And that matters to me. And the one article said that she was generous beyond belief, in quotations. Um, um, Maybe quoting one of her family members or whatever. And the person that and they might be like, it may bring it to them. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing a YouTube video about this right now, or or I don't know. But again, I'm not doing this in any disrespect. I'm doing this because there is something powerful that's come from it, I believe. It's not that hard to be a good and generous and kind person. Um, and I would like to continue to um, challenge myself, but also um, suggest to others as well when they arrive, because at the moment nobody's here. Regardless of who you are, regardless of your abilities, I would like to suggest that we can all make a positive impact for other people. We can all help other people, whether it's our person left, and if you're that way, maybe less likely. Um, there was just one person there, and maybe their phone died as soon as they got here. Who knows, right? But it looks like either they're back or somebody else is here. Point of the matter is um, a lot of ways that we can help don't actually cost money, whether it be volunteering, whether it be and I've tried to get into rock, whether it be um, just a moment, please. Hi. Did you get a message from you know who? Oh, did you leave my phone in the bedroom? I believe so, but it's also the computer. Anyway, if it still doesn't sound for sure one way or another, but I hope it starts too soon so they know whether to delay making dinner or not. Like another, I don't know, get that. She drives, so getting traveling is not, but the road conditions are a little bit iffy, it's true. But anyway, what was I saying? How was I saying it? So I was gonna wait till like 8:05 to start it. So hopefully you can distract yourself. I'm not gonna eat that much later, but sorry. Of course, I can distract myself. Okay, but maybe try and get it. I mean, we shouldn't. Okay, first thing is I'm going to shovel these. But she should let us know what her decision is. But I'll get to it. Okay? I suppose if we need to ask, we ask. Okay. Yep. So it's a couple minutes away from the next hour, and it's 5 minutes away from being an hour on here. So that's almost quite precise. I mean, to the hour kind of thing. Yeah, and I think I would say that I would strongly love to see these videos. And like I say, we'll have to see where I'm at, with things tomorrow. I mean, I know that I don't easily think of song suggestions, rather, song ideas. So the bike thing might be kind of the only thing. I don't know. I know that he's probably not going to have a busy weekend. He seems to be available, at least for one of the streams over the weekend, fairly often since our meeting. So, but he's also under the weather, so I think it's a bit more likely. Although some people, I mean, and it's yeah, I can already tell that they're still trying to do their usual online stuff. But some people, even when they've got just a cold or a flu, it's kind of like they don't even do that. And I mean, maybe they can't process as well. But it doesn't make that much sense to me because it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, like my friend in her surgery. If you're just having to be a little bit more relaxed and lazy than maybe your life usually is, then you're certainly able to do it. Just as much or more, I would imagine. But um, and I don't know how he's living, but Dave's not rolling. Oh yes, he is actually. Happy about that. And I mean, just I'm kind of holding some thoughts in my head now, and we're this far in. So if people that see this afterwards see this, far in, then okay. But otherwise, you know, anything that I would say now, I'd rather just wait to know that there is somebody listening. Um, I mean, and there's people that, well, I don't notice anybody else on his stream at the moment. So hopefully that means he gets that by. Oh, now there is though, but whether they've commented or not, who knows? I often feel like it. So anytime that I don't have to, I prefer not to. So I kind of want to hop to it. But also, yeah, I'm feeling kind of digested, and it's kind of like, am I going to suddenly have a health emergency? And if I am, then I want, what I leave from me, and should be heard. I didn't under that one, and I don't know if I still could, but not too late now. But they're like not going to now because of the I said somebody else, but that's fine. And now, okay, got an update. That was silly. No, I don't want to do that. Sounds like she'll be here shortly.
Okay. I've cleared away most of the ice. So
Yeah. Now that was supposed to be traveling, and it looked different when I selected it for the title than it does now. So that's really kind of odd. But it, and the other one looks like a computer, but it's actually a bus. I mean, if a medium was to say to me, I see a bus, I'd think of 5 people. Or his mother, Ray, when I went to deliver that stuff. Barb, and now this person. but yeah, so the message that I want to deliver at the moment is that, you know, I'm not going to say that I wasn't able to fully help like you needed and like I would have wished I could have. Um, I think you understand that and that you're not going to hold it against me. I'm not. All right. So, you know, the bond, the connection can continue. I can't guarantee that I'll visit often, but earlier my friend said something about, I can't remember what I was thinking. I don't even think I verbalized it. Um, oh, I think it was, are you for certain that something will happen or not? You know, as far as similar to what this woman is doing. Him. Um, she's like, you should be hearing your message yourself too. And if other people also hear it, great. But it is something that I strongly lived my life by. See, now this is going to be hard. If you're going to continue, I feel like I'm going to be tempted to tell the people that I need you. She says, well, this is a message for you, dear. You know, if they are meant to cross your path, if I can get that to happen, where they might, you know, eventually have a session with you, that's fine. But this truly is actually more of a message for you. And so see, we hear things, you know, like what happens is what needs to happen. And it's kind of like, I don't know you very well, sir, but um, I'm getting a kind vibe from you. Uh, Someone who wishes to do more than you maybe often feel you're able to. Um, and she skips meals easily too, but she says, I don't have, if you're needing to focus on something else, I can leave you be for now. No, I mean, this is fine. I mean, thanks for visiting me. Yes, my soul was told to. She says, because you'd hear, she says. And the message from both of us, let's put it this way, the message from both of us is yes, no matter your financial ability, physical ability, whatever, you have the power to impact lives and make a positive difference, whether it's online or in person in the people that you come in contact with. It can be small little things and they will stick with people. They truly will. Even just the intention. Like I'm thinking of a place I alluded to a little earlier in this, and how a while ago I shared a story on here of I had um, this coupon. This actually better than a coupon because it was like $25 worth of uh, money on it, and we were never going to use it. We don't really go to fast food places very much, and this and that. And we just kept holding on to it, and I kept thinking to myself, I'd like to give this to a homeless person. And basically, I went out on a nice day, and like whatever. And she's like, "But you know what? As much as we can be, you know, selfless as far as like you know, it's not." Oh, sorry. Yeah, I couldn't. Just a moment. I couldn't find the other one of those sitting right out in front of me on the counter, so I brought that one after that sucks. Just don't have to. You should wait to go down there until she's here. I'll be right back. Okay. Come on. Yeah, I guess it looks a little funny. Scary cover. Okay. There was something else I was going to say about that fridge other than that it needs a light. And I don't know if I got the door to go tight to do it. Um, Sorry for the distraction. She's like, you're handling it very well. Well, Christine, you might see something kind of interesting when you get here. I'm gonna be channeling you. um, and I mean, I'm pretty good at cherishing those in my life. Some may be a little bit easier than others, or we end up having, you know, things that stick with us whether we want them to or not. Things that maybe we've been through with certain people that's a little bit challenging at times. But no, back to the previous thing. Yeah, So anyway, I gave this voucher, this card, to a guy who I don't know if he was homeless. I don't know if he was experiencing some sort of mental thing because I got a little bit of a uncertain vibe from him. But I watched it for a moment. I watched him for a moment. I watched the situation, that being it. And he was moving around snow in the parking lot with his feet mostly. I think he was grabbing big chunks and throwing them off to the side. And I suddenly realized he's trying to make it. And why it was so messy, even other than that we get a lot of snow, I don't know. Traffic. And he was trying to help them out. So I went up to him and I said, "This is for your hard work." And I think it was just after Christmas. I wanted it to be before, but that didn't happen. So it was, I said, "Happy New Year." I shook his hand. What are you doing with that? There's not really room for that in there. It's so huge.
Not really room.
Sorry, just a moment.
Okay, I'll find. Oh,
It was initially under something. It was under all your, with the.
yes, you spilled them all over the floor.
Sorry?
And
Oh,
you-
did something break?
No, thankfully, but still. I don't want. There's room. I will make
Whatever.
room. I will.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Sorry for the distraction. I think a potato was here. That's what they go by. There'd be an additional like them. It was there. So it's been a bit quieter. The Alex haven't exactly helped this one, but the message is powerful. No way. Anyway, do you want to?
I do.
What are you doing?
Just making room for this.
Oh, stop. Anyway, sorry. Can I get this all in one cup? That's two. Sorry for the slight distractions, and if you're saying anything in the chat that I'm not seeing, I'll try it on the computer in just a moment. That is exactly 2 cups, ironically. This seems like an awful lot of
Is it enough to cover the
So anyway, point of the matter being is let's go to the thingy, and yeah, if you're watching, and here we go. Because I think I only saw the preview, but I think she was saying she's on her way. I mean, you installed those on this one, so it's your fault that I look at anything. No, but I think anyway. So, sorry. Usually things are just distracted, but yeah. So that's the motivation, and it can stick with you. Whether even like I say, okay, that's when you left, but whatever. Even like I say, she's like, well, I'm not, firing others. I think that was your intent, and I feel like you did that. And she says, the person that left right after you did so, like she says, you might well be more powerful than you realize, sir. And she says, I want to thank you for your forgiveness. And I know what that means. It means that although she was not able to help, she wanted to. She truly did. She's like, I don't know what you're getting at. With our heart in it, we can know that we can at least try. And so, yeah, basically, to the ethereals of currently nobody watching, and it's interesting because with my energy level and this and that, I would almost tell myself, wait till there's somebody watching. But I feel like visiting right now and saying, us angels are here. There's somebody in the other room over there. And it's like, and I mean, sometimes I feel these things stronger than other times. Sometimes I really don't seem to notice them much at all. Well, and as far as that goes, and I do feel like he does that every day at his work, and he doesn't necessarily need that message. She says, fair enough. And I mean, and I'm not saying that you do either. You seem like a fine person, she says. But as just, And you know why it's so important to me? Aside from that doing good is good, she says that it gave her purpose. She says that at times she struggled with her health, mental, physical. She also suffered a couple of miscarriages, she said. At least that's what I'm sensing, or something to do with something like that. And she says, I was blessed. And I mean, it's a huge world. So this could be about anyone. So if someone does end up seeing this and recognizing it, I mean, seriously. And as far as sharing with other people, maybe it doesn't have to be this, or I can take what I remember from it. Anything wrong with you mentioning your ability? And in fact, in a comment, it was put that she would be with her loved ones, including those who crossed her path that mattered. That I think that was the wording, mattered. And I mean, I think that would be a little bit of a strong statement to make in this situation. But I earlier felt like she was saying something about me being special, and I didn't express it, and I don't remember exactly the context, but came up about half an hour ago, I would say. Her, that happened just to see my appreciation, because she says, and it's actually also quite mature. She says that I do not hold a grudge that she wasn't very helpful. She was. I mean, it's hard not to sometimes, but or to say that that she wasn't of her word or something like that. Because she says, I'll tell you, I want you to know that I really did try my best to be. Basically, whether we see it a lot in our own lives or not, it's always nice when someone does something nice for you, when somebody hears you, sees you, wishes to, and possibly actually does get to help you in something. Whether it also helps them be a purpose as well. Take too much of your time, but honestly, this was a very welcome break as I observe my, and I don't want to say, I was here, and saw this happening, so I guess he does that, and telling people and connections, this and that. But yeah, basically, this was a very welcome break from seeing my loved ones grieving, which, I mean, sure, life is hard. So I saw them go through hard times sometimes. But at my expense, the reason being I was taken from them. She says, that's a hard one to swallow. And she says, I have a feeling you know what that kind of thing is like. So, but yeah, I think about, I won't get into details and the reasons, unfortunately, even if it's a safe area, it's what I'm looking for, that would help the wrong things. We end up hearing stories of things happening at certain venues that may have been good, and now it's kind of like, guess not. And it feels like we're just hunting for the places to go to. And maybe eventually, and I was talking a little bit about with someone earlier, maybe eventually I'll get myself willing to, how often they have it, I don't know, this one that I'm thinking about. And it came up again just now because, in the person's coming, she's a little bit serious, but she helps us out greatly, so we appreciate it. But watch in case she's updated you again, never mind, change her mind or whatever. But anyway, point of the matter being, so I'm slightly distracted, but point of the matter being that, now we're here, so we have this and that. And yeah, I mean, and it makes me think, should he be someone I'm thinking about? But he's probably close to death door stuff too, you know. And I don't know. Life is complex. Life is complicated. The things we go through with people, and deciding what if anything, you know, still could be of a connection is a whole other thing. But yeah, basically, and he's missed a lot of good stuff. He was always sitting right there, and she's actually saying, you know, again, you know, for whatever reason, maybe this part is more of a message for you to be paying attention to. That doesn't have to be anybody watching you, hearing you say it. That he can be doing his own thing right now, and what he hears, he's meant to hear. But I'm actually trying to encourage you to keep doing things to try and find purpose and to make an impact. Whether that's with the music, with your videos, and I don't need a lot of encouragement with the latter. I mean, seriously. I do want these to get pretty though. So, she's like, fair enough. But she says, I realized too that I was blessed to have a vehicle. I realized that we lived in a climate that wasn't always kind to folks. That may have been at more of a disadvantage. I hope you don't mind my wording. She says, I see you have a lovely home, so that's nice. But so she didn't mind helping people out because she was given the vehicle literally to do so. And so I sensed, well, again, I want to save a part of this for tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I won't forget. But the point of the matter is that at least it's Friday, otherwise things are getting kind of late. Well, it's only 30. But yeah, so she says thank you. But I think that was the kind of the main couple of messages in today. In this. Maybe mostly from me and G. I don't know. That's what it's looking like right now. And while we're talking about the bike, I'll plug this video and say I really don't want to repeat 45 minutes worth of stuff, but I really, really would love you to see this. Anyway, point of the matter being is I think that's the message. Is although we cherish each other, and we do pretty good at that. Do it while you got life. And as far as the doing things to help, yeah, I was alluding to, but didn't quite say that. You know, the small things. Again, maybe I mean, and I thought of this not that long ago. With I think I might see Carla. I'm not sure. That looks like it's me. You know, I like what she's doing for us, but don't get too much into that. But you know, I mean, every now and then, again, I know what I said in the previous video and perhaps in this one about really cherishing connections. Like it's not, you know, I already know that, but yeah, maybe it's like do it a little more with the ones that you have. When we hear all these things about accidents, I think Dominic was actually the first one, and I think about actually having been in one with my mother, and I think about how I was actually in one with Dad before, a minor one before, you know, a couple of years or whatever before he passed away, but I didn't know he ever was going to that way. You know, that's the thing, and it was maybe something that was supposed to have been. Rick called us. These things happen, but. Basically, because when I did that thing for that guy in the parking lot, I I felt the rush from it too. I felt how good it felt, and I thought I want to do more of having a vehicle, but that's not necessarily the biggest part. Um, I think what she thinks is ours is a little impolite and jumpy. And like I felt like if she had pockets in her coat, she was going to stand with her hands in her pocket. But everybody has their different ways, dear. I am glad that I was pushed to talk to you today in this way because if any of my loved ones do see it, I feel like they'll realize that this is real and maybe they'll reach out to you. Um, I will try to make that happen because I know that in time they will need it for the end of my funeral or whatever. But uh, but uh, it's so recent that it's probably not there yet. The both of them, but definitely some things to kind of keep up with because I would like to know whether I knew the other person too. Like I say, I had at least some communication with this person. Um, the other one, I don't know who it is yet. Um, it's amazing because I know I was eager to have them, and it's amazing that I processed it and with such a quick look realized I recognize that name. I recognize the picture. It may have been a profile picture, but yeah. Um, so keep doing that. And you're welcome for the bike, sir. She says now. I feel like I should probably let you on with your evening. I don't know if you really want to keep doing what you're doing in this. This isn't a monetized video, so it's okay that that's playing in the background. But and to be quite honest, no, I'm kind of good. I think as far as that goes. Um, um, yeah. So, I mean, the visitation from her spirit was more than I had envisioned. I didn't even know if it was going to happen. And she says, just wanted to come back and say it was lovely to finally meet you. And she did this smile and she nodded her head forward a little bit. And off she went. So, yeah, basically, yeah, so if you'd like a recap on this video, why is it so dark? I'm in light, so I don't know, that's weird. I can give you one. I just have to do something very quickly too, because I'm used to kind of channeling and I'm used to, angelic visions. I've had many with some of my loved ones, not as much as could be, but I'm happy they've occurred. And basically, so just a moment here. Yeah, that should be fine for a few minutes. That, and I'm putting this back away for a moment. It didn't make as much as I thought. Yeah, it feels a little bit more than I thought. What I really should do is slow down because I've been keeping the momentum going of this, and I didn't really have much of an appetite yet, but sometimes, even if it's not that strenuous, keeping the momentum going for a little. So, but she just said, I felt like you need to hear that I hear your heart. Keep rocking. I said, keep rocking. That's nice of you as well. Well, if you were to ask me if I've met any of your angels and your loved ones, I have not, sir. Not yet. But she says, I look around your home and I see instruments. So I'm talking to musicians. And I wish you the best with your music, whatever you wish to do with it. I mean, like I say, with this bandmate that I have, again, if it doesn't feel like a safe area or gigging doesn't feel safe and we can't find the venues that speak the strongest to us, it's nice to have the content and do the music and, maybe fundraising events and maybe the occasional party or wedding. I don't want to say that, who needs DJs, but live music is even better. What would be great is if events had a bit of both. They had a live band, and then when the live band wasn't playing, because like people like to keep things pumping and this and that, the DJ can come on. I mean, yeah, some people would say that can get pretty expensive, but if they were musicians like us, we wouldn't be asking for much. We are happy to get the opportunity and to do the music for the people. However, it is nice to make a little bit of money as well. So, I mean, she doesn't seem like she wants to leave. I mean, eventually they do, and I'm not getting that she's disrespectful of, of me or my other people have them, or you've seen me have them enough. You know that this is very real. And basically, she's just stating that I have a very lovable personality. I mean, sure, I know that and feel that too. And, maybe that wasn't, someone who was only here for a few seconds, maybe that wasn't, and maybe for the first time, it could have been taken wrong, whether they believe in the afterlife or not. But the point of the matter is she said, the point of the matter is that you have a very lovable personality. Always keep that. And it's went like this. So the essence is she is indeed a good person. I didn't doubt that. Um, I think that she's going to be part of maybe future videos, possibly in time. That she is going to be part of my journey. Um, I thought maybe she was coming back to say something else, and she doesn't actually have to like be not physically, obviously, but like her presence doesn't necessarily have to be in the room, probably for me to sense. But honestly, when I think about it and I think about the experiences I've had in that way, it often feels like it is. Obviously, it's not like it would have been, in person, and it's always going to be hard for those that have been left behind. Well, not video call, whatever. For those that have been left behind, um, you know, um, but but it kind of feels that way. Anyway, I do think that I should take try to slow down my um, not nervous system, but just to regulate lunch. And I had a sandwich, like a breakfast sandwich this morning. So I mean, I should be hungry, but I think I'm just stressed and tired and all that. So, but yeah, so I agree though that you know, yeah, Dad, you are living your purpose. You are making good progress. Relax and enjoy as it unfolds for you. Sometimes we feel like things need to move quicker in our lives. Sometimes we feel the opposite of that. But for whatever reason, I'd be curious for people to say why they feel. Um, and he says, you know what? Actually, yes, that is a great topic for, you know, when your friend Mark and Kelly might be watching. And I don't know how he does it. If she's saying things like, is he typing on both their behalf? It doesn't seem like it. It's like he processes what she says, and takes it. Is that, yeah, says you want content for tomorrow. So that's what it is. It's the bike. It's the, but I'll ask it here since there's two of you here. What are some reasons why you would like your life to move faster, or in what areas, or both? But you know, the your life is everything that's happening in your life, you know, is meant to, and it's to lead you to greater things. I mean, I mean, so yeah. Sorry, it's been almost 2 hours. It's been a long day. I'm still rolling. I guess there's a reason why. What it is, I'm figuring out in this moment. Um, but yeah, to be quite honest, I can't jump into a conversation right now. It's getting a bit late. I've now done 3 streams today, so I don't think I'll do another one. But uh, the other two were a little bit more chatty, especially the middle one, thanks to the fellow musician. But and some stations are streamed in places other than that they're in. I could be playing it off a website. You don't know. And some places may have stations with that need. Um, but yeah, I can't. The biggest reason is probably that. As much as I would want to, and I'd feel a little bit bad if somebody came in and they wanted to chat, and it's already happened once today, and I'm like, no, I've been meaning to wrap this up. Sorry. So we'll save the rest for tomorrow. I got to express myself for a beautiful hour and 40 something minutes, you know? So that's it for tonight. Take care, everybody.